Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ade, and if you're brand new, then of course you're most definitely welcome. If you're returning back, then thank you so much for coming back to watch another video on my channel. As you guys know, I have my Life in Dubai series that is sort of running simultaneously alongside other content that I create here on my channel. And of course, I currently live here in the Middle East, and of course I just thought that this year of 2024 I wanted to bring you some of my experiences to hopefully help you navigate living life here in Dubai, living life here in the Middle East. So today I'm going to be talking to you about freelance visas. Now, I know that it's a topic that comes up here and there, and majority of the time the topic of the freelance visa will normally come up when you've lived in Dubai for a certain amount of time, or if you work in certain industries. So I just thought, for the sheer fact that this is something that I've experienced personally, I wanted to come on here and give you guys the advice that I wish I knew before starting out on my freelance journey. Okay, so or my freelance visa application journey, shall I put it that way? Yes. But if you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you do not miss another video from me. Okay, so where do you start? Where do you start? That's normally the big question. So there are so many different freelance visa providers in the UAE. This is just basically an alternate route of getting a visa to, I guess, getting a visa via the company that you work for. Or if you've started up your own business and you want to obviously sponsor yourself and have a visa underneath your own company, then this would also be another option for you to do so. And if it is just that, you're very skilled at a particular trade and you mostly do contracting work for businesses or even for yourself, then a freelance visa definitely works. Especially if you're working with third-party businesses, they will always ask for your freelancer information, and this is obviously where the freelance visa comes into play. So what do you do? First of all, you do a little bit of research about the different types of freelancer companies or companies that will help you with your freelance application. Now, if you want to know a little bit more about that, then please feel free to hit me up on my Instagram and we can discuss that further. But what I basically did was I did some research. I had about 5 different companies that I really, I was interested in. I looked at their rates, I looked at what came with each package, and then I gave them all a call just to reiterate all the information that I'd seen online. So upon doing that, then I was able to sort of decide, make an informed decision as to which company I want to go for. Now for me, and I know that it's not necessarily the same for everyone, but I would definitely say that good customer service, having clear and concise information is something that's so important. Now, the companies that probably made it to the top 2 of my decision were the ones that gave clear and concise information. They were very professional. They had clear timestamps and timescales for how long things were going to take, and of course clear amounts for how much it was actually going to cost, so that way I could go away and think, okay, can I afford this? How long will it take for me to afford this? And sort of went from there. So once I'd then chosen my the company that I was going to start my freelance application with, we had a face-to-face meeting where she broke down all the different costs. She broke down the reasons why the costs were, sort of incurred. And also, we also spoke about basic medical insurance. Now, I'm not sure whether this is something that's offered in all freelancer packages, but the one that I end up going for does come with basic medical insurance. And again, if you obviously want to have a little chat about medical insurance and the different tiers, different grades, and we can obviously again reach out to me on my socials. That's basically what I'm here for. Would really love to be able to sort of build a community where I can really sort of help you start your journey here in the Middle East, and sort of give you support based on my own personal experience. So everything that I'm going to be saying to you today is literally based on my own personal experience. This is what I'm experiencing currently. So basically I'm just going to talk about the freelance license that I ended up getting. Okay, so this allowed me to have a freelance license for 2 years, and that would be a visa that would allow me to work independently, or if I chose to work for a company, then the company would issue, I would issue the company that I want to work for with an NOC, which is a non-objection certificate, to say that, I'm happy to sort of like work for them. Now, once that is now accepted by my new company, then they will apply for a labour card for me to work under them, okay? That's basically, the general steps. So just because you have a freelance visa does not mean that you can't work in a separate institution. You can do that, I do that. But also, it still does allow you to work, freelance in doing certain different things. Now, part of the application is that you do have to state what sector it is that you're working for, what your craft is, what your skill is. And then obviously they'll then tell you, the different packages for the different skill sets. Now, there are now different ways in which, things, there's like the basic package, and then you've then got another one where it allows you to pick your skill set that you're going to have, or your title that you're going to have on your Emirates ID. Now, a lot of people rarely ever look at the back of their Emirates IDs, but being the control freak that I am, I always tend to, I'm a stickler for detail. So I always, sort of looked at the back to see what it is that my job is written down as. And so it's like very, very important that, if you are going for a freelancer license, get it as close to what it is that you do, because there are lots of miscellaneous titles, and they're, for example, they are a little bit cheaper, but for like an extra 800 to 1,000 dirhams, you can literally tailor it to exactly what it is that you do, so that when people do get your Emirates ID and they flip to the back, and you might think it's nothing, but it is always something. They'll realize, oh, actually, this person's in media, this person's in tech, this person's a marketing director, this person's in HR, this person's in recruitment. So I always think it's, best to tailor it as closely to what it is that you do. And then I think the other half about freelance visas is like also looking at the long-term plan. So, the company that I ended up going with definitely sat me down and, sort of looked at my situation for what it was right now, and they gave me advice based on the future, on what would benefit me going forward. In everyday day-to life, we always like to think that, our circumstances are definitely going to become better. We're not going to stay in the same situation forever. So with that being said, you have to plan for the future, and hopefully a bright future at that. So I think, in general, I feel like that's generally the nutshell of, sort of how that conversation went. On average, or how long it takes, it can take anything from about 30 days. I want to say it takes about a month. But one good thing about it is, if say you don't have a visa, currently you're on a tourist visa and you're looking to move on to a freelancer visa, once the application is in process, you don't have any problems with trying to do like visa runs and things like that. It will be automatically registered on the system that you're currently going through the process of having a visa, whether it's a freelance visa or whichever visa that you choose to have. It will be on the system, so you don't have to worry about that. Of course, things vary from company to company, so I definitely would say that you should speak to the provider that is going to be providing you with your freelance visa. The other thing to talk about is traveling whilst your visa or your Emirates ID is being done. Now, with mine, wasn't allowed to travel. Now, that was something that I didn't know, and thankfully managed to speak to my advisor just before I was about to book a ticket to go on holiday, and she advised me absolutely not. No, you can't go on holiday whilst your Emirates ID and your visa is still under process. So you have to wait for that to be done before you can go ahead and do that. And again, they do tend to try and make sure that Emirates IDs and things like that are done very, very quickly. Now, I'm just going to quickly bounce back to what I spoke about previously about job titles on your Emirates ID. Now, part of that is also attestation of documents. Now, when you attest your documents, that could be that's mostly your degree certification, and sometimes your birth certificate and your marital certificate, depending on what it is that you're applying for. But in regards to like job placement and also job title on Emirates ID, a lot of the times it's normally better to attest your degree. And again, there are lots of different companies that offer an attestation service. Again, for something that you want to do and you need some help or advice, then please do reach out to me on my socials. They're always in the description box below. But basically they will come, they'll pick up your degree certificate, whatever it is, and they will take it to the various embassies to make sure that it is stamped. So for myself, I graduated in the UK, so my degree is from a UK university. They picked up my degree certificate and took it to the UK embassy, not just here in the UAE, but also in the UK. So it did take about 21 days for me to get that. So I did that prior to starting my visa, my freelance visa application. So definitely, you know, sort of think about that. The pros of doing all of that, it just allows me to pick what job title I wanted on the back of my Emirates ID. So yeah, so that's basically that. What else is helpful to know? Yeah, like I said, the whole process in itself normally takes about 30 days plus. And again, depends on the season, how many people they're currently working with. And also, you'll also find that sometimes they do come with certain perks. So for example, obviously I had my basic health insurance, but I also get office space as well. And also get help with invoicing and things like that if and when needed. But not all companies offer this. So it's definitely worth speaking to your provider to see what it is that they can offer you. But again, it's so paramount to do your research. And I say this over and over again, it's paramount to do your research. I will try and also link some helpful, you know, sort of information regarding freelance visas and the UAE. Of course, you know, I'm not all fountain of knowledge. I'm literally learning as I go along as well. But I think the main thing now for me is that I share my knowledge so that, you know, I can help others in a similar situation. So yeah, I really hope that, you know, the information that I've given you today definitely just helps, even if it's just a little bit. And of course, if you'd like me to go into a little bit more detail or have a conversation or a Teams or Zoom chat, then please do just let me know on my socials. My inbox, my DMs is open, and yeah, we can obviously have that conversation and I can steer you in the direction that you need to. But yeah, other than that, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it's been interesting, because I know that sometimes talking about, like, you know, kind of serious things is, I don't know, it's never quite as exciting, but I do try to obviously add that personal touch. And of course, I always speak from experience. So yeah, I hope that has helped. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment box below. If you've done a freelance visa and you have any company that you would like to recommend, then please recommend them in the comment box below, because the whole point is building a community where we can help each other and we can also help each other thrive and also settle in to moving here in the Middle East. So yeah, that's basically everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.